We'd like to welcome you to Conversation with the Commission, a time to inform and update our citizens. My name is Richie Byer. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Elmore County, and today we have our Chairman, Commissioner Bart Mercer. Commissioner Mercer has celebrated a couple milestones of late. He just celebrated 6 years in office with the County Commission, and he is into his second month as Chairman of the Commission. Commissioner Mercer, glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
Back in October, you had the opportunity to be elected Chairman of the Commission unanimously by your peers. Give us a little insight in that feeling and that moment and how that has progressed over the last couple months as you started your chairmanship.
I appreciate being here today to answer some of these questions. I always love talking about Elmore County. The night that we voted on that the chairmanship, it was very humbling feeling. Leading up to that, there were conversations about who could serve in that capacity, and I'll tell you, I served with four great commissioners. Everyone, I believe, would have the capacity to do that. Was very honored and, like I say, humbled that they chose me. I know that the chairman has large responsibility. In some parts need to be the biggest cheerleader for Elmore County. They need to make sure they're the unifier on the commission. We all get along very well on our commission, but we often talk about that if one fails, we all fail. So it's very important to make sure that we all stay on the same page about what we feel as if the direction we need to go in for Elmore County and what's important to the people in each of our individual districts. So it was exciting. It was a little scary, but it was an exciting time.
Chairman Mercer, since your time on the office and even preceding this, your 6 years of service, there's been this focus on individual areas that the commissioners will focus in on. With the change in leadership and you becoming the chairman, how do you see that and envision that as we move into 2023 and beyond?
Right. Well, when you're doing the right thing, it's easy to continue to do the right thing. I think if you had exposure to a lot of other counties in the state, Elmore County is a little bit different. In some counties in the state, the chairman handles everything that there is to do with the commission, whether it be economic development. They handle administrative. They handle their sheriff's department, and while each commissioner, that's part of our responsibility. We don't all focus on individual things that take place in our county every day in regards to general operations. If we have something that comes to the commission office or a matter that comes up with the sheriff's department, for instance, Commissioner Daughtry has an extensive background in law enforcement in the county. That's an area where he focuses on. I, for instance, have worked for many years for economic development effort in our county, and if something comes to the commission related to economic development, that would come to me. And every commissioner has a different area that they focus on, and what that allows us to do is it's more of a force multiplier. We're able to really focus on the things that are important in our district, but also those things in the county that the county commission touches, where we can really focus in on making sure that the very important things in the county have proper attention. It's worked really good for 6 years. I think with the support of my commissioners, and I know we've discussed this, we're not going to make any changes with that. I think it works real well for us. And again, I kind of feel like if you're doing the right thing, there's no reason to make a lot of changes in that.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of good things going on in the county right now. Are there a handful of priority projects that are priority initiatives that the county is undertaking that you'd like to discuss going into 2023?
Yeah, when you start talking about things you can do as a government to help improve your county, one of those things, if you were to take, just for instance, an economic development effort, we have been focused, and I hope we will continue to be focused on, from the larger view, outdoor tourism. There was a time I can recall 15 years ago serving on the Economic Development Authority where our focus was industrial development. That's not as something that we think in Elmore County should be our primary focus. So in order to continue to be effective, you have to change with what you're doing as far as where do you need to focus to help improve your county based on your citizens' needs. And so I think one thing that I hope we would continue to focus on is outdoor tourism. That includes some of our sports complexes that we've been working with, specifically in Wetumpka, and then our 17 Springs project in Millbrook. We think the more we develop those projects, it's going to give our citizens more sporting facilities to enjoy. It's also going to attract people to our county. Now that we have a lodging tax, we'll be able to capture some of those dollars as a result of them coming to our county, where we can use those to more reinvest. Of course, our infrastructure is always a big focus. I know with the passage of Rebuild Alabama, we're able to push some of these projects up by 10 years. We've allocated some of our ARP money that we've recently received from the federal government to road projects. That is always a big focus of ours. And fortunately, we've been able to take some of these same ARP dollars and partner with some of our municipalities to do some infrastructure upgrades that they have had on their priority list. So I guess if you had to focus all that down to, what do you think is going to be coming in the next year? We're going to continue what we've been doing, and we're going to finish some of these projects that we've started, because they're good projects, and they're projects that are going to have long-term, very positive effects for our citizens that we serve.
Chairman Mercer, we look forward to your tenure as a leader of the Elmore County Commission. I thank you for your time today and your service to Elmore County.
I appreciate you, Richie, and also appreciate our staff, what they do. We often say that we can govern as commissioners, but if we don't have good staff to execute the mission, then we've not accomplished anything. So I appreciate what you and your staff does for the county as well.
Thank you, sir.